Think about just tapping your phone at a chai stall, maybe in Bangalore, or swiping your card for groceries somewhere like Delhi. It feels almost, well, effortless, doesn't it? This whole digital transaction thing, it's just part of life now in India.
It really is. It's so seamless.
But what lots of us maybe don't stop to think about is that behind that tap, that swipe, there's this quiet three-digit number, our CIBIL score. And it's kind of silently shaping our financial lives.
Yeah, I feel like your financial autobiography being
Yeah.
written with every transaction, understanding it, especially now, just so critical.
Right. We get so used to the convenience, don't we? The UPI payments, the cards.
Uh-huh.
We don't always think about the trail it leaves.
Exactly, and that trail leads directly to this really powerful little number. So this deep dive, it's really about pulling back the curtain on that CIBIL score,
Hmm.
showing, how much clout it actually has over your financial well-being.
Absolutely. And look, this isn't some abstract thing just for bankers,
Yeah,
right?
at all.
We're talking about something that directly hits. Like, can you get that slightly bigger flat you want in Mumbai?
Mm.
Or finance a decent car for those insane Hyderabad commutes? Or even just get a personal loan if something unexpected happens?
Mm-hmm. Life stuff.
Exactly. In India, in 2025, credit is just so central to getting things done, achieving goals. So getting your head around your CIBIL score, it's not just smart, it feels almost essential now.
And that's exactly what we want to do today, demystify it. We need to go beyond just defining it and really dig into why it matters so much. The goal is to empower you, the listener, to really understand it, manage it actively, and, without all the confusing bank jargon.
Okay, let's do it. So when we actually say CIBIL score, what is that precisely? For a lot of people, it still feels a bit murky.
Okay, picture this. You remember getting report cards back in school,
Yeah.
showed how you did in like math or history.
Uh-huh. Vividly, sometimes too vividly.
Right. Well, your CIBIL score is kind of like that report card. But instead of school subjects, it's grading how you've handled your debts. So think loans, credit cards, those monthly payments, EMIs, equated monthly installments. It's basically a review of your borrowing track record.
Okay, so not grades, but a number. Between 300 and 900, you said. What do those numbers actually signal?
Exactly. It's a three-digit score. Lowest is 300, highest 900. And it's calculated and kept by TransUnion CIBIL. They're the main credit information company, or CIC, here in India. They gather up data from, well, pretty much everyone who lends money, banks, MBFCs, other financial institutions.
So they all report back to CIBIL.
They do. And generally, if your score hits 750 or, higher, lenders tend to see you as financially reliable, trustworthy. You're much more likely to get loan approvals and maybe even better interest rates.
Okay, 750 plus is the goal then. But what if you're looking at a score, say, below 700? Is that like failing the class?
Failing might be strong, but yeah, a score below 700 definitely makes lenders pause. It suggests, to them at least, a higher risk that you might not pay back on time. So you could find it harder to get loans approved. Or the interest rates they offer you might be, well, less attractive.
Mm.
And the fascinating part is, this score isn't just plucked out of thin air. It's built from your detailed credit history. Every single loan, every credit card payment on time, even those smaller buy now, pay later things, they all feed into it.
Wow.
It's like a running tally, a permanent financial footprint.
That really drives it home. Every financial move leaves a mark, shaping this picture for lenders down the line. And accuracy, like you mentioned before, must be absolutely key.
Oh, absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Imagine your school report card had a mistake, right? Said you failed a subject you actually aced.
Yeah, nightmare scenario.
Exactly. Errors in your CIBIL report can do the same kind of damage, unfairly blocking your access to credit. We'll get into spotting and fixing those later, but yeah, the system isn't perfect. It's vital to check.
Okay, so we know what it is now, but let's get to the crux of it.
Yep.
Why should someone listening right now, maybe commuting or making dinner, why should they genuinely care about this number more than, say, their Instagram feed?
That really is the key question, isn't it? Because, look, scrolling your feed gives you that instant hit, but your CIBIL report, that's quietly influencing some really fundamental parts of your financial life.
Yeah.
First off, think of it as your financial handshake, your first impression.
Okay.
When you go to a lender for any kind of credit, buying that dream apartment near Bandstand in Mumbai, maybe getting a car for navigating Poon's sprawl, or just a personal loan for, I don't know, a sudden medical bill,
Yeah.
the very first thing they'll probably look at, often even before your income proof, is your CIBIL report.
Right. So it's like showing up for a job interview. A good score is like walking in polished and prepared. A low score is like tripping on the way in.
That's a great analogy. Exactly. A strong score, let's say 750 plus,
Yeah.
it signals you're responsible. You borrow smart, you pay back on time, that's the message. A lower score, conversely, it just immediately raises questions for the lender.
Makes sense.
But it's not just about getting a yes or no. Remember those errors we talked about? They can sneak in like uninvited relatives crashing a wedding.
Huh. Okay.
Seriously, maybe a loan you paid off ages ago still shows as active. Or, maybe worse, a loan taken by someone else, maybe with a similar name in Kolkata, somehow gets tagged to your profile.
Oh, wow.
These mistakes, they can be like a sudden signal failure on the Mumbai local trains. They can completely derail your credit plans.
That sounds unbelievably frustrating, being dinged for something that wasn't your fault or just a system glitch.
It is. And these errors pop up in specific ways on the report.
Mm.
Like, look at the days past due section, the DPD. Ideally, you want to see 7 or XXX there.
Meaning paid on time.
Right. Anything else flags a late payment. Now,
Yeah.
maybe you know you paid on time, but a reporting error could say otherwise.
Mhm.
If you don't check your report regularly, you won't spot these things. And you could end up paying higher interest or even getting rejected for a loan because of bad data.
Higher interest rates.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very real, tangible consequence right there. So a good score isn't just about getting the loan, it's about getting a better deal on it.
Precisely. This is where having a good score really pays off, literally. People with strong scores, again, think 750 and up, they often qualify for significantly lower interest rates. From banks, from NBFCs, across the board. It's like going to the market. If you have a good reputation, you can haggle for a better price. Your credit history gives you that leverage.
Can you give us an example? Like put some numbers on that saving.
Sure. Let's take say, a 10 lakh home loan. Pretty standard. If you have a top-tier CIBIL score, you might snag an interest rate that's maybe just 0.5% lower than someone with an average or poor score.
Okay, 0.5%. Doesn't sound like a lot, maybe.
But over a typical 20-year loan, that 0.5% difference can easily add up to savings of well over a lakh of rupees, maybe even more.
Wow. Okay, that's not small change. That's significant.
It's real money you could use for something else entirely. Education, investment, travel.
That really hits home. And thinking about today's world, 2025, everything's so digital. There's another big reason to keep tabs on this report, isn't there? Fraud.
Absolutely crucial point. As digital transactions boom here in India, sadly, so does the sophistication of identity theft.
Yeah, you hear stories all the time.
Exactly. Scammers are always finding new angles, and a common one is taking out loans fraudulently, using someone else's stolen identity. By checking your CIBIL report regularly, diligently, you can spot loan applications or accounts that you simply don't recognize, things you never applied for.
Ah, so it acts like an early warning system.
Precisely. Catching that fraudulent activity early is key. You can then file a dispute with CIBIL, alert the lender, and hopefully stop major damage to your score and your overall financial standing before it spirals.
Okay, so it's defense as well. And beyond just preventing problems, a good score also kind of sets you up for the future, doesn't it? For opportunities.
It really does.
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
throws curveballs, right? You never know when you might need quick access to funds. Maybe an unexpected medical issue, and we know healthcare costs are rising.
Tell me about it.
Or perhaps a big life event, like planning a wedding, which is never cheap.
Mm.
Or maybe a fantastic business opportunity pops up that needs capital fast. Having a healthy CIBIL score means you're financially ready. You're prepared for those unexpected needs and those unexpected opportunities. It's about building that foundation of financial resilience.
Okay, I am 100% convinced. This little 3-digit number packs a serious punch. So for everyone listening, what are the actual practical steps? How do we check this report and, importantly, fix it if something's wrong?
Right, let's get practical. The very first thing, and honestly, it's simpler than it sounds, is just get into the habit of checking your CIBIL report regularly. I'd really recommend doing it at least once a month.
Once a month? Okay.
Yeah, think of it like checking your bank balance or your email, just a quick financial health checkup. Why monthly? Well, lenders usually update your info with CIBIL every, say, 15 to 45 days, maybe 2 to 6 weeks, roughly.
Oh.
So checking monthly keeps you pretty current on any changes or new entries. And here's the really important bit people worry about. Checking your own score does not hurt it. It doesn't lower your score at all.
That's good to know, because you
Oh.
hear that myth sometimes. So where do we actually go? Which websites or platforms are safe and reliable for this?
Good question. The most direct route is the official source, TransUnion CIBIL's website, which is www.cibil.com.
CIBIL.com. Got it.
Right. But there are also other authorized places, platforms like paisabazaar.com or bankbazaar.com. They often provide access to your CIBIL score and report, sometimes even for free. They're reliable partners.
Okay. And what info do I need handy when I go to one of these sites?
It's pretty standard stuff. You'll need your full name, your email address, your mobile number, the one registered with your accounts, ideally, and crucially, your PAN card number.
PAN card, right?
Yeah, and then there's usually a verification step. They'll send an OTP, a one-time password, to your phone just to make sure it's really you.
Standard security.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once that's done, you should be able to see your score and get access to your full credit report. Some of these platforms even offer to send you updates like monthly summaries via email or WhatsApp.
That's handy. So once I have the report, maybe download it as a PDF, what's the crucial next step? Just look at the score and close it.
No, definitely not. The score is just the headline. The real value is in diving into the details. You need to then go through every single loan account and credit card listed. Active ones, closed ones. Does it all look right? Is that loan you paid off ages ago still showing as active? Crucially, do you see any accounts there that you simply don't recognize? That's a huge red flag for potential identity theft.
Okay. Checking accounts carefully. What else?
Payment history. Remember that DPD column, days past due?
Zeros are good.
Exactly. Scan that column for every account. If you see anything other than 00 or XXX, it means a late payment was reported for that month. If you know you paid on time, that's an error you need to dispute.
So we need to put on our detective hats and really scrutinize our own financial past. Any quick tips for reading these reports? Sometimes they look a bit dense.
Yeah, they can be. One little tip. Often, when you download the report as a PDF, the password to open it is just your date of birth, usually in DDMMYYY format.
DDMMYYYY.
Good to know. Save some guessing.
It can, yeah. Saves a bit of hassle.
So what are the most common mistakes people actually find when they do this check? What should they be most vigilant about? Well, we've touched on a few, but yeah, personal info errors are surprisingly common. A typo in your name, an old address, wrong PAN, seems small but can cause mix-ups. Then there are the account inaccuracies. That paid-off loan still showing as active is a classic. Or worse, seeing a loan that actually belongs to someone else entirely on your report.
That sounds wild, like getting someone else's mail, but way worse.
It really is. It's like being blamed for their financial situation. Payment history errors are also frequent. You paid on time, but it got recorded as late in the DPD. That directly hurts your score. And then the really serious one, fraudulent accounts. Seeing loans or credit cards opened in your name that you never applied for. That screams identity theft.
Okay, so let's say I find one of these errors, a wrong DPD entry or account I don't recognize. What do I actually do then? How do I fix it?
Right. You don't just have to live with it. All the credit bureaus, CIBIL included, have an online process for raising disputes. You usually find it right on their website.
Okay, an online form.
Typically, yes. You fill out a dispute form, clearly state what the error is, which account it relates to, and why you think it's wrong. It's really helpful if you can attach proof, like a payment receipt or an account closure letter.
Makes sense. Provide evidence.
Exactly. Once you submit that dispute, CIBIL takes it up with the lender who reported the information in the first place. They'll investigate. This usually takes about 30 days, give or take. And while they're investigating, that specific item on your report will usually get marked as under dispute.
So other lenders can see it's being looked into.
Precisely. It signals that the accuracy of that piece of information is currently under review.
Okay, good to know there's a process.
Hmm.
So checking and correcting is vital maintenance, but what about actually improving the score? What proactive steps can we take to kind of, boost our financial health score?
Absolutely. Building a good score or improving a weaker one, it's an ongoing thing. It really boils down to responsible credit habits and the absolute #1 non-negotiable foundation.
Let me guess. Pay your bills on time.
You got it. Pay all your dues, loan EMIs, credit card bills, everything on time, every single month. Late payments are the single biggest drag on your CIBIL score. Set reminders on your phone, use calendar alerts, set up auto pay through your bank if you trust yourselves not to overdraw. Whatever works for you, just don't miss those due dates.
Seems obvious, but yeah, life gets busy. Easy to slip up. What's next after timely payments?
The next big one is managing your credit utilization wisely, especially with credit cards.
Credit utilization, meaning how much of my limit I'm using.
Exactly. It's generally a good idea to try and keep your outstanding balance below 30% of your total credit limit across all your cards.
Okay, 30%. So if I have a card with a euro 1 lakh limit.
Try to keep the balance under 30,000. Using up a very high percentage of your available credit can make lenders think you're maybe overstretched or too reliant on credit.
Right, it signals potential stress. That makes sense.
Yep.
What about applying for new loans or cards? How does that factor in?
Ah, good point. Applying for a lot of credit, multiple loans, several credit cards, all in a short period, that can actually pull your score down slightly.
Really? Why's that?
Well, it can look like you're in sudden financial trouble and are scrambling for funds. It's often called being credit hungry. So it's generally better to be strategic. Space out your applications. Only apply for credit when you genuinely need it, not just speculatively.
Okay, so don't go on an application spree, be selective. Anything else for building a better score?
Yeah, a couple more things. Having a good mix of credit types can actually be viewed positively.
Mix, like different kinds of loans.
Right. A mix of secured loans like a home loan or car loan where there's collateral and unsecured loans like credit cards or personal loans. It shows you can manage different kinds of financial commitments. But big caveat, don't just take out loans for the sake of having a mix. Only borrow what you need and can comfortably repay.
Sensible advice.
And finally, credit history length matters. Generally, the longer you've responsibly managed credit, the better it looks. So if you have an old credit card that you don't use much, but it has a good payment history and no annual fee,
Keep it open?
it might be worth keeping it open, yeah. Closing old accounts can sometimes shorten your average credit history length, which isn't ideal.
Okay, these are all really concrete, doable steps. Timely payments, low utilization, strategic applications, healthy mix, keep old accounts. Got it. Now, zooming out again, thinking big picture, how does all this, knowing your score, managing it, fit into where India is heading financially in, say, 2025?
It fits centrally, honestly. Access to credit in India, as we said, it's just exploding. It's easier than ever before for many people to get loans, cards, that this fuels growth, opens doors, which is great. But it also means financial literacy. Understanding things like your CIBIL score is no longer optional. It's becoming a core life skill for navigating the modern Indian economy.
So it's about empowerment in this new landscape.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And monitoring your score regularly, it does more than just check for errors. It gives you feedback on your own habits. You might notice, for example, your score dips a bit after a month of high spending on your card, then recovers as you pay it down. It becomes like a fitness tracker, but for your wallet.
A fitness tracker for your wallet. I like that.
Yeah. It helps you see the cause and effect of your financial actions. And remember, the credit landscape itself is getting more complex. There isn't just CIBIL anymore. India now has 4 RBI licensed credit bureaus: CIBIL, Experian, Equifax, and CRIve Highmark.
4 of them. Do they all have the same score for me?
Not always. Their goal is the same: assess your creditworthiness, but the data they receive from lenders, and maybe even their scoring models, can differ slightly. So your score might vary a bit between bureaus. That's why platforms like Paisa Bazaar, which let you check your scores from multiple bureaus, are becoming quite useful. They give you a more rounded picture. But bottom line, in this fast-evolving financial world, a good CIBIL score and understanding the scores from other bureaus too is really your key. Your key to accessing financial opportunities and achieving your goals.
Right. So pulling it all together then, this CIBIL score, it's way more than just some number lenders look at. It's actually a reflection of our financial habits, our responsibility.
Wow.
And it holds real power over our ability to get credit and, importantly, the cost of that credit.
Exactly. Think of it as your financial passport for navigating today's India. By checking it regularly, understanding what goes into it, fixing errors, and actively working on those good habits, you're basically taking control. You're equipping yourself to handle your finances with more confidence, more power.
So the big message for everyone listening is make checking your CIBIL report a routine. Understand it. If something's wrong, fix it. And consistently practice those good credit habits we talked about. It's about owning your financial narrative.
Perfectly put. And maybe a final thought to leave with you. Try not to see your CIBIL score just as a gatekeeper for loans. Think bigger. See it as this dynamic reflection of your financial discipline, something that's actively helping you build a more secure future in India's growing economy. So maybe ask yourself, what's one concrete step you can take, maybe even today, right after listening to this, to understand or manage your score just a little bit better? It's not just about tomorrow's loan. It's about building that strong financial foundation for the long haul.